YouTube? Z-Manzilla here, and check this out. I got a new shirt. Isn't that cool? I like it. Kind of goes with the suspenders. I really dig these suspenders. I don't know if you know that, but I really do. In any case, this is the SnapMap Top 5 for the week of August 14th, 2017. This week I played something to the tune of 24 SnapMaps. Had some fun with some, not so much with others, but, you know, as I went through, I did my upvoting, my downvoting, my, you know, what I like, what I don't like, all that fun stuff. And you can see the full playthroughs of those using the links in the description of this video if you are interested in checking it out. In the meantime, I'm here to talk about my 5 favorite for this week, and I really think you're going to be blown away by some of these. I know I was. I can't wait to show these to you. Come on, let's check it out. Starting things off at number 5 this week is Heavy Thoughts v1.15 by Matori551. This map was a lot of fun for several reasons, not the least of which was the quirky presentation. There's this thing going on with the POIs where the POIs have this sort of overlong text in them that has little jokes in it in and of itself. I thought that was really fun, really funny, and I enjoyed that quirky presentation. Some things to keep in mind, the combat in this is just really a lot of fun. First off, you are going to get to wear your cool custom armor with this one, and you know, the combat is kept really challenging. Even though there's no permadeath, there's this checkpoint system that actually resets all of the combat scenarios if you die. So you die, you come back, you got to still solve the problem. So it keeps things challenging without having to call in the old permadeath and make you sit through a bunch of loading screens to try it again. I really dug it for that. There was also this weird feature in there where if you hit taunt 1, you get a quad damage, and that appeared to be completely unlimited. So that, along with the really generous distribution of the power-ups, does make the combat feel a little easy, at least at first. So, you know, I mean, it does ease you in to the combat as it gets crazier later in the level, which the combat was a lot of fun. You know, there's a huge loadout to work with. You do run across a lot of really great weapons. There's some secrets in this level that were just downright clever. I really dug the way there was some, you know, there's some misdirection going on and just really cleverly hidden secrets, and I really dug it for that. And the resetting checkpoints, again, really dig the way that keeps the level nice and tense without forcing you to go look at another loading screen. So it's the best of both worlds in so many ways, and I really dug it for that. It's fun, it's quirky, it's awesome. I really do think you should check it out. That's Heavy Thoughts v1.15 by Matori551. That map ID is 73RNUNFP. This week's number 4 map is Chapter 1, Cathedral of Blood by RockHardGamer45. This is RockHardGamer45's very first attempt at a full custom geo map, and it is really good. I really respect that. It's got some really good custom geo. The combat is hard and hectic, and it just keeps you ripping and tearing for a very good long time there. It has a very good and engaging story as well, and it uses some really good story elements to tell that story. And more importantly, I really dig that the story that's going on in this map actually falls outside of the Doom mythos as we understand it. There's a whole new story being told here, and I really dig that creativity. And of course, the custom geo supports all that. There's some really cool things that are being done with the geo and the prop works in this, including one really cool thing where some trees were made using a combination of gore, and you know that thing that people flip upside down to look like a mushroom? That thing. You know, they just look like these really cool gore-based trees. Now that is some hard, hectic combat going on in this map. Thankfully, you've got a checkpoint system backing you up if you're like me and kind of mediocre. If you're really good, you're going to really enjoy what's going on here in the combat. Now, you know, there are a couple sort of little, you know, warts here and there, including some blinky geo and decals. I did go over in my playthrough how to address those. There's definitely some weirdness with the mob encounters towards the beginning. I did address this with RockHardGamer45 directly, and he said he's fixing those in the next update. So if that update hasn't happened already, it will soon. So I doubt these are even going to be a problem when you go into this map. But it really is good. And of course, if you're familiar with RockHardGamer45's channel, you know that this is a guy that does his fair share of ripping and tearing like a pro. So when this guy makes a map and tries to make it hard, you know it is going to be mind-blowing. And you know, this is no exception here. Despite being super hectic, the combat is also very well balanced, and you do get to wear your cool custom armor for the outing. So definitely worth checking this map out. That is Chapter 1, Cathedral of Blood by RockHardGamer45. Map ID is 8GS473NQ. At number 3 this week is Secluded, Map.08, Untold Story by BusyMan123. And once again, BusyMan123 demonstrates how he is just able to turn everything we understand about storytelling in SnapMaps right on its ear. For starters, you play a female protagonist in a really, really good story. The story takes place as part of the Secluded campaign, which you should go in and play the whole thing. It really is that awesome. But a really well-told story. You know, it's got some awesome hectic combat to back that up, so you're not just there to hear a story, you are there to rip and tear your way through the story by all means necessary. And I'll tell you, the combat is just hectic. You know, like there are places where it almost felt like there was some big bad spam going on, you know, in just a couple other areas that I almost felt were a little ganky. But you know, it all contributes to that atmosphere, that just dangerous atmosphere where it's just you versus like the entire population of hell, Wisconsin. You know, it's just really, really nuts. So I really enjoyed it for that. And speaking of that combat, you're going to be having that combat in some really good looking custom geos. So, you know, the cool thing about this as well is because it's a story driven board, you're going to want to sort of stay in it for the story. So there is a checkpoint system to support that, and you do get to wear your cool custom armor. Some things I did ding, like I said before, there was some big bad spam kind of going on. It did feel a little ganky, so not, you know, what I would call first run friendly, but, you know, it wasn't first run bad either. You know, I mean, you really, with the checkpoint system supporting everything, it doesn't drag anything down. There was a section in the story where things did sort of, you know, just sort of drop off and it was just story for a little while, which felt like a contrast to all of the hectic combat that was going on in the rest of the map, which is the only reason it was even noticeable. And, you know, the only reason I even bring it up is because, hey, I'm a feedback guy. But, you know, none of these things are deal breakers. I was really enjoying what was being thrown down here. You know, a great story, great combat, awesome custom geo. I just can't say enough nice things about this map. So that's Secluded Map.08 Untold Story by BusyMan123. That map ID is MPZXU8S3. You need to plug that in and strap yourselves in for a good rip and tear story time tell. Coming in at number 2 this week, we got Doom Lazarus Shift by EnderDude27. This map was a pleasant surprise. I found this one on the review queue, and I am so glad I did. It's just fantastic. So it does use a checkpoint system, so it keeps you right in the action as you're playing. If you die, you just get right back up and get right back into the action. And it's got some great action in it. And by the way, you're going to get to wear your cool custom armor in this one. Just wanted to point that out. So again, the combat, fantastic. There's just a lot of great combat scenarios going on here. The geo is cool looking, but it's also very functional. You know, it provides a lot of these really great exploration opportunities where you're going to have to climb to get the things you need and hunt around a little bit to look for stuff. And it all feels very organic. It doesn't feel like forced. It doesn't really drag things down too much, and I really enjoyed it for that. There are some awesome story elements going on here which back up a really good story which takes place around about the same time as the Lazarus wave in the campaign. So, but you don't play the Doom guy, you play somebody else that's affected by the Lazarus wave, and I don't want to spoil anything for you there because you really do need to experience this for yourself. It's just a wonderful example of how to use story elements in a way that keeps the action going, is very effective, but still tells a good story. And I do want to stress that the story of this map is really good. Some things I dinged about it were the fact that it is functional immortality, basically. You can just sort of keep dying and coming back, which does remove a little bit of the tension from these awesome combat scenarios you're in. You know, it doesn't bother me too much because obviously I die, and you really do want to experience the story, so it lets you do that. But that is still worth noting. And also some of the geo can be gotten around a little bit. You can see that in my playthrough. But, you know, none of it ruins the experience at all. It really is a fantastic story, a great map. I especially love the way they built the drop ships that look like these flying snails. It's really cool. So definitely recommend you check this one out. That's Doom Lazarus Shift by EnderDude27 TN34RHJV. Before I reveal this week's number 1, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the maps I upvoted this week, starting with Demon Hood Beta by Gunja Crew. Now, this map uses a lot of elements from Devil City Ransom, and in some cases I felt like it did a better job. It was really cool. Has some excellent custom geo. Really, the only reason it didn't break into the top 5 is because it is still in beta and does have a couple bugs in it, but definitely worth checking out, and I can't wait to see the full experience. Another map I upvoted this week was Unloved Remake Map 1 Alone by Watsta. It has some challenging combat and some excellent custom geo. Very, very surreal. Definitely worth checking out, especially if you like exploring. Another map I upvoted this week was Project Annihilation Map 5 by Spunky117. Features a full weapon wheel, some brutal combat, and some great use of POIs that don't necessarily lead you by the nose, but definitely come up just when you need them. Another map I upvoted this week was Portal Doom Episode 1, and this is by XAC Slayer X. It's probably the best way you're ever going to see Portal and Doom ever come together. Features a fully animated GLaDOS at one point, and also has some really good puzzles to solve. Definitely worth checking out for that. I also upvoted Resurgence Ep.2 The Beginning by PsychoKnight141. Features some good set dressing and story elements, some great use of some custom survival elements, and I just really dug it. It's very atmospheric, definitely worth checking out. Another map I upvoted this week was Tomb of the Doomslayer by Oreo Studios. This takes place as sort of a prequel to the campaign, features some excellent functional set dressing and story elements, great combat, and by the end you're going to have a pretty full weapon selection. So, however you want to do it, you can do it. Next up vote is Mars Engineering Bay by the Phobos Anomaly, and this blew my mind with the geo and prop work, especially in the beginning. Has some insane and intense combat, great loadout and ammo distribution, just wonderful all around. The main ding on it was that you do start out in the Praetor suit, holding one of the weapons that triggers the Praetor suit bug if you die. So, it's kind of an issue for me, but if that doesn't bother you, then hey, go for it. You really should check this map out, if only for the geo and prop work. It is insane. Another map that I upvoted this week was Doom See All Evil by Daniel Ranka716, who you may recognize as DirectX231 on YouTube. If you haven't checked out his channel, definitely check it out. This map features a great night vision mechanic, and it's challenging because you only got the 2 weapons to work with, and you do pick up health and ammo from kills pretty much exclusively. Definitely worth checking out for the night vision mechanic alone. Next map I upvoted was Game of Thrones Hardhome by Burnman. Now this is a slappers only board, but here's what's interesting about it. First off, the Game of Thrones theme is playing in the background at all times, so it's got some custom music in there. It also has a wonderful custom geo build of what looks like the sort of wall to the north. It's really cool looking. Another map I upvoted this week was Doom Hades 6 Part 2 by Amnu. Excellent custom geo, excellent story elements, excellent combat, really good in so many ways. I had to ding it because I ran into the error detected bug. It's my understanding that if you're playing on PC, you're probably not going to run into this. So either way, definitely a map worth checking out and a wonderful next chapter in the Hades 6 series. Another map I upvoted this week was Fight Club by X-Slinger. It's a good story-driven experience, very creative, and it does manage to make a slappers-only section versus a Hell Knight that's fun and well-balanced, so I was really digging it for that. Another upvote this week was We Rebuke You E1M4 by Invisible Abe. It's a straightforward board. It has the enemies and secrets counter in the upper left corner, and so you know what it is you're trying to accomplish. It has some good combat, has some good secret hunting, and it actually has a good use of a Lost Soul gank that it didn't drive me up a wall, which in and of itself definitely worth noting. And finally, I upvoted Overrun Update 5 by JoeZombies115. It's a fast-paced board that features a money-based system for purchasing weapons and ammo, and gives you a 2-weapon limit, so you got to think about your loadout while you're going along. And it plays very fast, so you're not going to be spending too long on that, but very action-oriented. You can see my playthroughs of all of these over on my Twitch channel. You'll see links in the description of this video, so you can check all of them out, all the maps I played this week. But hey, enough jibba-jabba. Let's go check out number 1. Top of the chart this week at number 1 is Fury M7 Flesh Eater by Behemoth Programmer. This map blew my mind when I played it. It just absolutely awesome, completely unexpected surprise. Really enjoyed this one. So a couple of things about the nuts and bolts. You are going to get to wear your cool custom armor, and this does employ a live system, so you want to be careful, because you only have so many times you can die in this one, and it is very likely you will die at least once, because the combat in this board is dynamite, and that's accomplished through a neat combination of just well-designed combat scenarios. You have lots of mobs that are, they support one another, in what they're doing, and a lot of this is accomplished by the fact that he's using this awesome blend of custom geo and prefab modules. So, you know, what's happening is that the mobs actually do have a navigation mesh to move on, so, you know, they have the full range of being able to respond to you in combat scenarios, and it just really makes the combat super challenging, super fun, really awesome. This map also employs a really cool visual language for marking secrets. Now, I don't want to spoil anything for you. I will just say that once you see it, you're going to be looking for it for the rest of the map to try to find all those secrets, and there's a little message at the beginning to tell you how many secrets you need to find. One of the secrets in particular had a really impressive climbing gimmick in it, where you have to actually climb up some guts to get to one of the secrets. Really neat, and I really enjoyed that. So obviously, though, I do need to be critical, so here's my feedback here. I did notice one module had some blinking geo in the ceiling, and another thing I need to address is literally nothing else. I had a really hard time finding, you know, you try to be fair and balanced, try to find other things to say here, but, you know, I'm really scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Literally the only thing I noticed was like one section that had some blinking geo in the skybox. Like, that's it. It really was a fantastic map. You know, the combat just blew me away. It killed me, I will not lie, but I am very much looking forward to going back and trying it again, and I hope you will try it as well by plugging J78C NWX3 into your map search and playing Fury M7 Flesh Eater by Behemoth Programmer. And by the way, Behemoth Programmer, congratulations, you are this week's #1 Snap Map. And that was my top 5 for the week of August 14. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I mean, I had a ton of fun this week. You know, it's really a shame that, you know, I have to condense things down to 5 because there were really just a lot of great maps this week. And I do hope you choose to check out the playthroughs, which again, you can see the links for those in the description of this video. And you can, while you're there, if you're, you know, since you're going to be on my Twitch channel anyway, why don't you go ahead and give me a follow and check out what's going on. Now, if you are interested in what I'm doing here and you want to see me do more of it and expand out and create some more content here, you know, you can always help me out on Patreon. That's patreon.com/zmanzilla. You can also, you know, I make art, and, you know, I put it on t-shirts and posters and all that fun stuff, and you can check that out over at zazzle.com/drawnbutter. And of course, there's all kinds of other ways you can follow me, check me out, and all that fun stuff. Help support the channel. You'll find the links for all of that again in the description of this video. But in the meantime, I just want to thank you once again for checking me out. If you have a map that you'd like me to play, then, you know, by all means, go ahead and put that information in the comments, you know, and make sure you're including a map ID and a brief description of the map. You know, kind of let me know what you think I'm going to like about it. Please be sure to include that information. That's very important. The map ID helps me find it very quickly, and your description helps me sort of contextualize your map and kind of figure out, you know, what it was you were going for. So please, by all means, go ahead and put all that in the comments. And other than that, I do hope you choose to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. No quarter, no pulling punches of mercy. It's always all or nothing when you face me. You know I'm ready. My emblem is blasting in the ground school sonic. Come out of the broken, got my name and picture on it. I'm willing and able to break a table with you on it, because I'm taking it all. You know I'm ready. My emblem is blasting in the ground school sonic. Come out of the broken, got my name and picture on it. I'm willing and able to break a table with you on it, because I'm taking it all. Boom, blow, powers and explosion sounds all around as I advance to meet the crowd now. Full of thousands in attendance and all the millions watching at home. Here comes a hell of a show. Yo, there ain't a body in their seat. They bring the necks, lift the kids.